Hey, what's up, everybody? So, today we're going to have a conversation about a really common phrase that you're all used to. It is what it is. But we're also going to talk about the difference between agreeing and accepting. And so, one of the phrases that we have heard probably millions of times in our lives is somebody saying, you know what, man, it is what it is. Now, what people think is just some really common colloquialism is actually a really brilliant way of looking at life and way of looking at events, because it places neutrality on things while also giving attention to it. It's not ignoring it. It's not ignoring it when you say it is what it is. It's you're looking at it and you're like, this situation, I see it for what it is and not for how it's making me feel or how it's making other people feel, you know? And when dealing with trauma, especially dealing with trauma, like if you're dealing with loss, it is hard sometimes to be like, it is what it is, because there's so many feelings involved and there's attachment involved. And when there's attachment involved, that's where pain can latch onto. And one of the ways that a lot of the self-help and self-love people tell you is, you know, you want to learn how to release attachments. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world. So where the agreement and the acceptance comes in at is when you're trying to deal with those things from your past, okay? Or even, you know, whatever comes at you in the future. Like, someone like me is going to be like, you know, you got to accept that shit. You got to accept it, own it, process it, and move on. You know, you got to release it, put it behind you. But don't think for a second that acceptance is the same as agreement, okay? Because it's not. It's not the same. Just because you accept that your former partner was abusive or that they were a narcissist or they did any random number of things that wasn't very cool, you're not saying that you agree with what they did by accepting it. You're not saying that at all. Because agreement is literally saying, no, I'm cool with what you did. No, we're not cool with it. We're not cool with it. We are simply saying that in spite of this happening, okay? In spite of this happening, I'm still going to press on without this holding me back. It happened. I accept that it happened, even though I don't approve that it happened. I accept it. It's not something that I wanted, but it is something that happened. And in doing so, it's so empowering. It's so empowering to be like, you know what? This thing that caused me all of this pain and all of this sadness and all of this anger, so much anger. You know what? I'm not going to let that have an effect on me anymore. I'm not going to let that continue to just beat me up, because it's not fair to me. So I'm going to accept that, you know what, that happened. But I also accept that I'm not the same person that happened to. I've grown. I'm smarter. I'm stronger. I'm more capable. I will stand my ground. I speak my truth. So yeah, I accept the fact that before I knew better, some things happened that I'm not very proud of. Or I did some things that I'm not very proud of. But the fact is, it wouldn't happen now. So yes, accept the things that still bother you, that still hurt you, that still are traumatizing you to this day. Accept them. Acceptance is a huge part of forgiveness. Okay? Because once you start to accept it, once you be like, you know what, it is what it is. Or like what I tend to say a lot is, what happened, now what? Okay? That's the same thing. It goes on the same concept is you are taking something and you're removing power from it. Saying what happened removes the power. It doesn't make it so personal. It doesn't go into detail, so you have to relive every detail. But it acknowledges it. What happened. That's acceptance. Now what? That's moving forward. That's progress. Because you can't just accept something and not move forward. You have to. So when you hear spiritual people talking about forgiveness or talking about acceptance, and you're like, wow, that sounds really like toxic positivity. It isn't. It isn't, because with the forgiveness portion, it is so necessary. I'm not going to talk about that now. That's not what this video is for. But it is about acceptance and agreement. Just because you accept something doesn't mean you agree with it, doesn't mean you're cool with it. It just means I'm not going to be bothered by this shit anymore. Because it's your own mind. It's your own mind beating you up. It's nobody else. And even if it is somebody else, you don't have to listen. Right? You don't have to listen. And you damn sure don't have to believe it. You don't have to internalize it. You choose to. All of that's choice. So, make better choices. Accept the things from your past that were traumatic, that were hard. Accept them. Accept them. Learn the lessons. Find the lessons in it. There's always lessons. And then let it go. Free yourself. Release those anchors, those sandbags that's keeping you from flying, and, release it. Because when you do, you float, man. It's so much weight. Like it's weird. It's literal weight, like off your shoulders. They're like, I feel so light. Because you've been carrying a lot of heavy shit around a long time. That's why you feel lighter. So be kind to yourselves.